Hey guys, it's Skulker3 and welcome to this special little extra video for my Let's Play of Eve. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you haven't watched it all yet, or you haven't at least watched through once, then I would recommend you go back and at least watch one route through to the end. Because this video will contain spoilers, weirdly enough. Because it's been made at the end of the project. Well, mostly. Yeah, this video is just going to be dedicated to sort of a special sort of little making of the Let's Play and showing off some features that didn't get shown off in the Let's Play. So like some dialogue options, some special little scenes, some events, and like some things that were new to me, or some things that still surprised me even though I've played it through several times. But you'll see all that later on. The main reason doing a special little making of for this was because I put in quite a bit more work for this Let's Play than I have for any other Let's Plays so far. Just because I thought it was the main and best way to do the game justice. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you're interested, if you're not interested in seeing how I made Let's Play Eve, then go and watch some other videos, or go read a book, or something. Play a game, or have lunch. It's up to you. You can do all of those things, or none of them. It's up to you. In any case, yes, please enjoy. Now the first thing we have to show off in this little clip is a little error that I kept having when doing the carry careless scene. This happens quite often. It hasn't really happened when I just play this game on my own, but I think it happened like consistently when I was trying to record, as it would. But yes, the problem is, every now and then, when you go to Carry Careless and you read the book, most of the time, you'll just take out the book, everyone's happy, it all works out just absolutely fine. But every now and then, this happens. No such interface supported, and that really can get annoying. But it's a very solvable problem, and I just edited in the video for Carry Careless and it was fine. However, if you're having this problem back at home while playing, then click Nevermind and then choose to push the book in. And it'll have the exact same effect as if you could see the video. So yeah, it wasn't a big problem for the Let's Play, because I knew how to work around it, but if you're having that trouble, then there's the answer! Now, as you've seen throughout the game, some of your decisions affect what happens. So like, if you decide to kick the doll or kick the mannequin, then more things start appearing creepily. One thing that happens though that doesn't seem to be affected on you, based on your decision, is that there's, you know, those horrible dolls that follow Gary. Well, they can pop up in other places. I don't know if I stalled enough in the thing, but it's completely random. Hello. Just looks side to side and laughs at you. The first time I saw that, I jumped so much. And as far as I can tell, you can only see it in two rooms. You can see it in that room just there, and in the tree room. I'm really annoyed that, as far as I remember, it didn't turn up at all in the Let's Play, but here it is now for anyone who wants to see it. Pretty creepy. Now, one thing you might have been wondering, but most likely weren't, is how it is that I put in the choices for the viewer, with the annotations, all those little scenes of "Fate has decided that you should do this." I felt a bit pretentious writing some of those, but I thought it kind of helped the atmosphere a little bit. But in any case, yeah, as you can see, we've highlighted this one folder in the... Hang on, I'll just scroll this up a bit so you can see, or maybe I won't, there we go, in the Eve game folder. But yes, I have this little folder called Me. That is because I actually created my own tiny little RPG solely for this Let's Play. It can hardly be called an RPG. You can't really do anything in it, but also here we have this junk folder contains mainly files to get RPG Maker working, but also just things used for the Let's Play. So for example, I've got this edited image that I did of Eve smiling, for making her more friendly, and then the normal one for her being isolated. If anyone didn't watch both of those, then that's what the two pictures looked like. I've also got the Book of Fate thing, which originally wasn't going to feature in the Let's Play, but I'll explain why it did in a bit. And finally, we've also got the handkerchief, which I'll explain again in a bit, and we have these things saying Gary 1, Gary no, and Gary yes. Those are the choices for Gary succeeding at the doll room. And the main reason... The main reason what? I'm not actually saying anything to do with the main reason. No, originally I was just going to have this one picture and have it so that the top of the area would be the cutoff point for his head, and the bottom cutoff point would be where the text was. Which I thought would be a good idea, because then it wouldn't look weird that he had no head, no top of the head, just floating in blackness. This was before I knew I could import the things from the original Eve file. But I was originally going to have it and have it stretch. The only thing is I had to zoom in for that, and having that suddenly appear out of blackness, or possibly close to that, having that suddenly pop out of the blackness was a bit unnerving, especially since Bandicam kind of messed up the colours a little bit. It wasn't too bad, but ever so slightly looked weird. But then I found that I could put in the things with the borders, and I thought, right, I'll just do that for everyone, and it all worked out a lot happier for it. But yes, I'll be showing you the RPG I made now. I say it's playable. Play is very, very much not really the word to use. You can interact it. I'll just select the window, there we go. And yes, as you can see here, zoom it out a bit more, I'm being good with this. Yeah, as you can see here, we've got a lot of random squares and not exactly much map. That's because there's not actually any way you can walk around on this map. If this was actually an RPG, this is where our player would start. If you stepped down here, then a little event would start, and it would call other events. I've edited this slightly for the purpose of this making of, but I'll explain how it worked. It was essentially, you start the game, and it does this, and actually I can show you how the game looks running it. Eve Book of Fate is the opening scene. Before I show off the actual whole thing, I'll show you why I made Eve Book of Fate. This was actually originally just going to be for me, for the lols. I'll call this Behind the Scenes... Behind the Eckness! Behind the Eckness! But yeah, the reason I did that was because originally this was what was playing. Which is all well and good. But I thought it didn't really fit the atmosphere of Ebe, and as I said, this was originally just for me, because I thought it looked cooler. And then I thought, actually, I could use that for the Let's Play, couldn't I? I could put it right at the end for, would you like to play again? And yeah, so this is actually a playable demo thing. Not really a demo, it's a playable full game, which has nothing in it. So if we get started, then as you see, it pulls up the first event, which is the one directly under the start point right here. And that is the choice for Ebe's personality, where I explain how all the choice and stuff works. Now, as I said, I've edited it a little bit for the purpose of this. There's Ebe looking friendly now. So I can show you one of the choices that didn't actually make it into the final cut. This happened on the friendly route if you were successful and kept talking to Gary over and over again. And then when you defeated Mary and you got the choice whether or not to give him your handkerchief, this choice came up. Your new friend and protector throughout this journey is wounded. You can give him your handkerchief, the one thing your dear mother gave you before it disappeared. Do you help him, though he may not need the help? Or do you hold on to this sole item given to you by a loved one whom you might never see again? Now, originally, I really didn't like this choice. I thought it sounded kind of stupid. The thing is, for a lot of the choices, I had to try and come up with ways to not make it sound like a stupid idea. Like, you can either choose to go through the painting and be free, or you can go back into a horrible world filled with monsters and go looking for a murderous girl. So, I had to try and find a way to focus it on, you have to go back and see if you can help Gary and Mary, or see if you can find a way. I couldn't just go, or do you go back? Maybe you just like killing Ebe. Who knows? And again, originally, at the end, I suppose I'll show this. If you give Gary the handkerchief, then the handkerchief disappears and he looks happy. Duh. But yes, and then the rest all goes on as normal. Now, originally, this one linked on to, as you can see down there, it says personality, which then links off into these two trees. This says Doll's F, which means Doll's friendly route, and Doll's I, isolated route. Then depending on whether you were successful or not. This is what happens if you were isolated, but you failed the challenge. And as you can see in a second, if you were isolated and stayed, then this one still says chase or stay, even though in the Let's Play, if you were successful in the room full of dolls, then we got the Memories Crannies ending, if you chose to go with Gary at the end. Which I still don't entirely understand how it happened. When I did the practice run for this, when I did Isolated and was successful, I still got the ending where you have to give Mary Gary's rose, which meant that 3 of these routes ended in chase or stay, which I was a bit annoyed with, but I lived with it. And that's why the handkerchief choice was originally in, so I could show off the Memories Crannies ending. But in the end, it came out to it that I didn't actually need that, because, as you saw, the endings went differently, and I was really surprised about it. I was like, have I been more friendly to Gary this time around? I hadn't particularly noticed. But yeah, a lot of things that you can do, mainly it's like, you don't talk to Gary when you have chances to, like in the room where he's given you his coat to sleep under, or when you're first putting the mirror down. If you just immediately do the task at hand, then it's like you lose points in Ebe's affection for Gary. This is what I learned on the J is Games site for Ebe. And yeah, so originally I was really unhappy with the fact that I had to put the handkerchief choice in, because I just thought, you know, in that situation the majority of people would just give him the handkerchief. So that's why I'm kind of glad that this happened, but it really took me by surprise the first time. I was like, wait, when it first faded in and I saw the rose petal, I was like, that shouldn't happen. There's not supposed to be anything there. But yeah, so that was a pretty crazy thing, and as you can see here, this is like all the text I had to put in. So it's like, you make the clocks play, then you wait, then you start all the text, and then you get your choices, and then you have to put this picture on and take this one off, and then take... and it was all pretty crazy to work out, but I got it working eventually. But yeah, so I used a lot of the resources from Ebe, from the original Ebe file to get that working. Which was very helpful, because otherwise I'd have had to do it all again. And one thing I feel particularly happy about, I probably shouldn't really, but I quite liked it, was how on Gary failing either of the times, I'm just going to see if I can find it. Oh, wait, no, it's going to be in dolls. Yeah, if you choose that you don't feel lucky, then, as you can see here, voice 4 plays 4 times, but if you actually look inside them, then the tempo is changed. So I managed to get it sounding as though it was laughing. And I thought, oh man, I was really happy with that effect. I managed to make it so sinister if you weren't feeling lucky. But yeah, I probably shouldn't feel quite so proud of this, but I think it's more that I've done all the work now, so I can feel happy about having done all the work. I'm pretty sure that's all I had to say on the matter. I'm just gonna think, because I've been wrong before. Like, I just recorded this and then several things were wrong, so I started again. Nope. Well, if it comes to me, then it'll still appear. Anyways, on to the next bit of behind the scenes. Now, there were some things, even though I've played through this game like several times now, there were still some things that caught me off guard that I hadn't seen before. Also, this bit was kind of awkwardly forced, because I just wanted to show off the scene in this next room of the hanging mannequin head. But this also has one of the things that I'd never noticed before. I didn't follow Gary up to the poster, so
I don't think there's anything in
the
here.
first time, this is actually the first time that I saw the note
one of our visitors has damaged one of the displays.
saying,
Found.
Gary should die now! It kind of surprised me as well, but there were quite a few more things that I hadn't seen before, and which popped up for the first time here. One of which was right here with Mary. When I first went to look for her, I was just doing this for the sake of showmanship and making it seem as though Eve was more concerned. I genuinely wasn't expecting to find Mary in there. I was like, whoa, wait, she's actually there? I also have footage, I think, from a previous recording, which never made it in, of Mary standing up near the painting of Aspiration. what that is.
And
It's like a leaf.
yeah, so there were some things I had to
Dots on it.
do quite forced. Like I had to
No,
check
that looks like it.
when I said, "Oh, I accidentally hit the face of the hanged man again." I did that several times just so I could show off the creepy eyes as well. But yeah, it shows how cool the game is that even though I've played it through so many times, there's still stuff that makes me jump and that I don't expect to see, and I'm not entirely sure how they spawn. This is all just stuff that caught me off guard the first time. I think also there was an axe down in the tree area, but I can't seem to find the footage for that, so maybe it's disappeared. As for that hammer, I'd seen it before, but that surprised me because I thought it was someone banging on the house from inside.
Guess she must be in here,
But yeah.
I forgot to bring up my doll map. But I'm gonna add this into the extras, because I'm hilarious. Yeah, this is just something to show off. If you go back to Even Mary before you go into the room with the horrifying dolls, scariest part of the game, by the way. Well, first of all, you can see Tattletale is whispering something, which presumably is Mary's secret. And you can also activate the scene in which Mary goes a little bit crazy. I'll show off the third option we didn't show off. Nothing's wrong. What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't like him. Not one bit. Yeah. And then she runs off and beats crazy for a while. I didn't know about that until this run, which is pretty crazy. Like, I wanted to see what happened, and then turns out you can make Mary go mad before you set off the scene, so a part of me kind of wanted to see what happened if you made her go mad, but then also made Gary fail his challenge, and I might do that sort of off screen. But in any case, yes, that's what can happen. I've recorded this this little section before I've actually done any of the completed doll segments, because I forgot to bring up my doll map, which shows where all the dolls which contain things are and which ones just are empty, just so I can get some timing stuff for the horrible doll climbing out of the painting, which is always a lot of fun. But in any case, yes, I'll now return you to the rest of this weird behind-the-scenes thing that I'm going to be making at the end. It's really weird to talk like that at this time, because I'm still right in the middle of the progress. That's not a word. Of the project. In fact, I'm not even there. I'm like the first quarter of the way through, maybe, if that. But in any case, yes. Thank you for joining me today. I'm doing a thumbs up even though you can't see. Yes. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm actually going to show you guys, just here in these little bonus things, what happens if... Cookies and cream and chocolate and... so much to eat. I want to eat all these sweets. Yeah, I think my Mary voice is probably pretty strange, because it sounds like a 19-year-old guy, well, possibly younger because I have a crap voice, trying to impersonate a little girl, but that's what I am, so what can I say? But yes, I'm going to show off what happens if... Mary. I'm going to show off what happens if, you make Mary go insane, and then fail the doll challenge thing. I'll make this a bit sillier since this is the end of the project and everything is not going in the actual majiggery-pokery, but, yeah, I haven't actually done it yet, so I don't know, how I've done it for the actual official recordings. But I remember... The thing is, I recorded, like, loads of the parts for this Let's Play, and then I was kind of dissatisfied with how it came out, so I deleted them all and started again. So I had to do this bit, which I really... This is the only real bit in the game which legitimately got to me. And there were plenty of bits which made me jump or whatever, but this bit just sent me into a panic when I first did this. When it got to this bit, I think. Or possibly it was... I think it was the one after this, when you first see its eyes. That really just made me freak out so much. How you doing, fella? You wanna give me a hug? Yeah, you do. Anyways, I've forgotten what I was gonna say now. I'm gonna say something interesting, though. Give me a kiss. But yes, so now we can see what happens if Gary dies and Mary has gone insane. Hello, Mary. You're just doing the same thing as always. How you doing? Just chilling? So yeah, because I don't imagine much will change in the game beyond that. Oh, also, I've learned a lot of things just as I went through the project. Oh, you're looking at a different thing now. Oh, yes, a moonbed. Swinging back and forth like a great big cradle. See, there's a lot of things that I have actually learned new happened in this game because of doing this Let's Play. Like, I think it wasn't that I first learned about the thing that can pop up. If that hasn't turned up in the project, I'm going to feel really bad, because that was an amazingly terrifying little thing. But, in some areas, a big doll can pop up, look side to side, and then just sort of laugh and disappear when you're as Gary. And it freaked me the hell out. But yeah. So, let's see what happens if we try to go down here with Mary being insane. Wait, Eve. The stairs over here too. I'm going with you. Oh. Okay, and then it just resumes as normal. Well, that's not too interesting. I was kind of hoping that Mary wouldn't be with us for this and then all other kinds of stuff would happen. But from there on, it looks like it's just the same normal thing for if you fail the doll thing. So, yeah. That's a pretty atmospheric way to do it, but craziness. In any case, yes. Thank you guys for joining me for this again. Actually, I keep doing that as if it sounds like it's ending, but this is probably like just the middle of the behind-the-scenes making of whatever I call it. But yeah, I'm still in the past. I still haven't even done one of the succeeding or failing doll houses yet, except for this one, just to show it off. But yes. Continuing on with the behind-the-scenes. I said continuing on with behind-the-scenes. Stop recording me now. Thank you.
And so that's all there is to say, I believe, about the making of Let's Play Ebe. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this special little video. Nothing really more to say about it. I'm sorry about how weird the last bit was and that it was saying, like, some things that I covered in other points of it, but that was because I recorded that way back when, and since then I'd forgotten what I said in it. But never hurts to reiterate the points just a little bit. So yes, thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope to see you in the future for the Let's Plays. I will see you then, guys. Goodbye.